Hi, by Joseph Smudishani. How are you? How are you? How's everybody? Let's share and invite everyone. Hello, by 1K. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Munishani won't say. Okay. How are you? By 1K to the we know. By MK, I see you. A lot is going on. I don't need someone. A lot is happening today, guys. Fingi fidech tika. A lot is happening. Yeah. So we are here anyway, as usual. We are here late. I'm here late, but Akunakulala, so much going on. So much going on, guys. Yeah. Hi, Benam Pulungu, Mulishani. How are you guys? We'll get started in a little bit. I'll just start by playing some videos. A lot is happening regarding the match, the Oasis Foundation match. A lot is happening. And you know, yesterday we woke up to the news of the members of parliament being bribed. And then today we saw the leader of MPs coming to denounce Bill 7 today. And, you know, everyone in UPND is scampering. They are running around, you know, with this march, you know. It's like never fulungana, you know. Like, anyway, we'll talk. Let me just connect some to the Bluetooth and play some audios so we can have a context as we are speaking. We are not speaking from out of the blues. So by UPND, they are running around like chickens without head, You know, I can only allude this to the fact that they never thought that Zambians would rise and fight back. Basically, 4 years of 4 years of UPND government. The Zambians generally, they have been very docile. Mamona. Zambians have been docile, and the UPND government have literally walked over the Zambians. Like, they have done whatever they can do. And ama Zambians valley kalafie, you know. Zambians have taken all the bashing from this UPND government for the last 4 years. And by UPND, Bali Diomupola, Bali Beresha. You know, that's why now they cannot, it's like they're confused what's happening, you know. Everyone is like, no, you can't protest. We can't protest, but when you've been protesting all these 4 years, it's been all about UPND. They have shut down the opposition completely. The destruction of PF, the systematic killing of MMD, you know. Even a Lungu can't even be buried because UPND government, they think they are gods in Zambia. By UPND, but this thing by the Oasis Foundation coming together is a moment of reckoning and awakening for the UPND. It's long awaited and long overdue. So I'm just going to play some videos, and then we can talk about the unfolding situation in Zambia. Yeah, because it's been too much. Let me play some videos while I share. Just hold on. Kuchi wafirwa napa kwambira mwanti wa UPND. Now they are scampering. They are uriapa alipama pa microphone ukulanda. Ama cabinet ministers na bobali nedi ashiri yabo. Ao mwandini. We shall see how this goes. First of all,
review process. We also note that some of our church leaders have already gone to court over this matter, which is within their constitution.
So this is the cabinet ministers,
the
guys.
church, which we hold in high regard, is divinely mandated to be a unifier of the faith. Its mission is to foster dialogue, reconciliation, and peace among citizens, cutting across partisan interests. The path being pursued by certain church leaders over the constitutional-making process, however, risks undermining this sacred responsibility. The proposed protests will not unify our country. On the contrary, they will further polarize both the nation and the church itself. At a time when Zambia requires collective wisdom and unity, such divisive actions are regrettable and counterproductive. We collectively believe that the church is anchored on dialogue and further hold a strong view that we still have an opportunity for us to meet the church and discuss matters of national interest. We therefore appeal to the leadership of the church and other faith-based organizations to reflect seriously on this matter and heed the President's call to go to State House and engage in dialogue over the ongoing constitutional making process. This is important because the church must remain a beacon of hope and dialogue, not a source of division. We, as members of the Roman Catholic Church, currently serving in the government, have consistently been part of the engagement between the government, the church, and leaders of other religious faiths, some of whom are playing an active role in the ongoing constitutional review process on matters of national interest. These engagements, fellow citizens, have been constructive, and they have demonstrated that dialogue remains the most effective path to resolving differences. It is our considered view that the church should desist from polarizing acts and instead embrace dialogue as the cornerstone of its contribution to national development. The New Dawn administration, under the leadership of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, remains committed to safeguarding the rights of all citizens, including the freedom of worship and expression. However, we urge our partners in the faith community to exercise these rights responsibly and in ways that promote unity and peace. Jointly issued today by Honorable Ambrose L. Region Fuma MP, Minister of Defense, Honorable Jacob Mwimbo, State Council MP, Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Honorable Mulambo Hainde, State Council MP, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Honorable Felix C. Mutati MP, Minister of Technology and Science, Honorable Doreen Mwamba MP, Minister of Community Development and Social Services, and Honorable Shiro Muriata MP, Minister of Lusaka Province. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, wow, for Haiba Cynthia Mulishani, we are here, guys. To the panel, and we are talking about the developing stories, you know, the tension that is developing because of a match, you know. Tension is growing. We were just listening to a speech, press conference by the Catholics in serving in the president's government. Mulishaniwa Josephs, welcome. How are you? Yeah, so but Josephs has joined us. So we are here, guys, because now the tension is just like rising. It's rising and rising. And these Catholic cabinet ministers, they are saying that the Oasis Foundation should not should not go ahead with the protest march. There should be a dialogue, and this protest march will polarize the country further. Hello, so Tabeshibati, Zambia is already polarized. So don't these people, have they not been listening? It's like, where have they been, these ministers? Bamwimbu, Ambrose, Haimbe, Mutati, Doreen Mwamba, Moliata. Where have they been? We have been saying that this country, we need healing. Just a few days ago, aspiring MP Makebi has always been saying Zambia needs healing. Even before this Oasis started talking about this march, people have been talking about we need healing. The country is divided. So for me, what I don't understand is why are they against the opposition to march? By UPND, you have been marching for 4 years. Chalo Chenu. By UPND, Mwalisenda Zambia, like your backyard. You have been the one doing everything. Marching, protests, you don't even get permits. Mulalanda, fiance. So, nombalero chashupa shani for our Oasis Foundation. Why is the pushback for Oasis Foundation to do you what you have been doing? When HH was stoned, days 2 weeks ago, there were big marches around the country. Did you see the opposition to come and tell you by UPND at why are you marching? Did any opposition stop by UPND? Has any opposition ever stopped by UPND from marching? Pakchibena veme kuima ama minister bonsevadia at yo is going to polarize our country. How? So when you guys you march, you don't polarize our country? If about opposition, the only one time we want to march, that you are going to polarize our country, we say no. Nafishupa, Magani Avich. Hello, Mama Elia. Welcome.
Joseph.
Hi, Mama.
But Joseph, nachmi pera from Mposhe kwa bantu. Ineni mfulungana lero. I don't even know where to start from. Ninji sana late. Let me
pick it up from there.
I've been processing a lot of. I don't even know where to start from. Nalonesha kukuli kuliwa mundu vile.
It's crazy.
Nalonesha kuli tayari uko. Jack Mwimbu na yena. Diswaniso na yena. Sika ile na yena. I'm like, I'm confused.
Let me just pick up from the minister's press conference. I think it's not right to be hypocritical. This UPND must understand that they are running a nation, and this nation has people that are intelligent, have people that have feelings. Over the years, I think just like you put it, UPND has taken the Zambian people for granted, in that they've been pushing things and people have not responded. Even when people have cried out to them to say, please, this is not okay, this is not right, UPND has always demonstrated arrogance. They do not listen to people, like we've said. We have had in Zambia for the longest time what we call traditional, institutions that have stood the test of time and have spoken on matters of governance, and successful governments have respected these institutions. LAS, non-governmental organization, church organizations, whenever they speak on national matters, these are respected and are responded to rightly. But unfortunately, these ministers are really misplaced in their response. Because why? The thing is this. The Oasis Forum made it very clear as they outlined the reasons to why they've decided to march. A protest in itself, by the way, is a constitutional right. Why do people get to protest? People get to protest whether it is at the house level, work, or everywhere, when people feel unheard.
They believe that the only way perhaps that this person is going to hear us is when we protest. When we protest. And this protest has been called in good faith. Number one, they've clearly stated, we are going to state house and voice out. We are going to voice out. And then they've clearly indicated that this will be a peaceful demonstration. You know, for the longest time, this constitutional right has not been granted to the Zambian people except for UPND. UPND will wake up today, tell their members we are walking the streets of Lusaka, and nobody will ask about whether the police or what. Sometimes the police even escort them. They wake up, we are going to march in solidarity of the president, in Chingola, Copper Belt. They won't have any issues. But this is a noble cause. Every Zambian must rise and protect the Constitution. What has been going on about the Constitution, the arrogance, against all the voices that have spoken traditionally against this Constitution is really sickening. And Oasis Forum is spot on, and this should be recommended. Instead of the ministers beginning to single out the Catholic, and this is not about the Catholic, it's about people with conscience, Zambians with conscience, who are represented by these organizations. Now you have seen how, the UPND pages are discrediting the leadership of these organizations, and calling them names, playing out propaganda. It is not right. UPND had the right to protest Bill 10. The youths were allowed to protest against Bill 10. Why don't they want to allow other Zambians? Zambia already is polarized. Nobody should actually even guess why. It is polarized. It's not this protest that is going to polarize Zambia. Zambia as it stands today, it is politically polarized. Why? Because UPND has been very intolerant. They do not want to admit, their wrongs. They do not want to hear the advices from people that we know that have been there. When they speak as the elders of the country, as the council, as the church, as lawyers, when they speak, successful governments, no matter how stubborn they were, they would actually respect and back down. But what have we seen with UPND? UPND has gone on. When you say they will even respond to Mukamba Mweka, and they'll go on to do whatever they want to do, which should not be the case. Let them understand that a constitution should never save the purpose of an individual. A constitution should stand the test of time. We should not amend the constitution the same way they felt bad about Bill 10. It should be the same way and the same energy that they should also put against Bill 7. Bill 7 is a retrogression to the country. It is a bad bill that should never come anywhere near Parliament. It will destroy our country for generations to come. It will not just harm the country, it will also harm the very UPND. Why? Because there will be a time that they will come out of power, and Zambia will be very, very small for them because of this bill. So I support Oasis Forum. I also want to echo a little bit about, and I pray that, there was a press conference by Honorable Brian Mundubile and other, MPs, because a lot of truths came out, suspecting and accusing most of the MPs that could actually be, he referred to, Shishwa actually said, credible. Those people that we hold in high esteem who are members of Parliament, they also got, they also got money amounting to, that's about 3 million kwacha, but they were given half. So they went on to refute that and actually called on, those that have received those monies to look at, to look at their conscience and return that money if at all they've received that money. If that is the position, this is why exactly we're talking about, because the MPs were too quiet. They were not talking about Bill 7. And we were all wondering what is going on. Why aren't these people voicing out? This is a matter of national concern. And if they are not talking, it means nobody amo. So I was happy to hear them come out so strongly, and I pray that that is the status quo, and the status quo remain like that. Of course, we know that there are some people that are compromised, like Venechalinga and others that have already rebelled. That one is not a secret. We know that such people can easily be bought. But for those who are morally upright, we want them to stand, because that bill, if it doesn't just affect the opposition, even some of the members of parliament from the ruling party may not see themselves back into parliament. So this is how serious this is. We are going to create what we would call actually a king in Zambia, because we are going to, this bill empowers the president so much such that he will literally make decisions that are going to harm our country, provided they serve his purpose. And we do not want. Already we are crying, already this is enough. Now imagine we amplify what we have by 2. Where are we going to be as a country? I thank you, Mama President, for now. Let me contribute that.
Thank you, Joseph's powerful contribution. It just warms my heart today, because it's been a long journey to get here. I myself, I think on this panel, on these pages, we have been the key. We have been the foundation of what is happening now, because we have been singing day and night about this toxic Bill 7 until the Catholic bishops came on. They were number 1. Then eventually all these other people came on until it was taken to court in June. The Oasis Foundation took this, the government, the Attorney General, to court to throw out the Bill 7 in June, and the Constitutional Court did the right thing, but instead of the president, the executive, following what the Constitutional Court recommended, he appointed a technical committee, but that technical committee was full of his allies. So, like, we are tired. Me personally, I am.
Sorry, just a quick one. Just a quick one, Mama President. Sorry, I just cut you. Please. He's called for dialogue. He says they should call out that latest dialogue. Everyone knows that Hakainde Hichilema doesn't dialogue. He goes to lecture the people that have gone there to attend whatever that dialogue is. So there will not be anything like dialogue. He's going to lecture them. It will be a one-man show. So they should not even accept that. Sorry, Mama President, I apologize.
No worries. On that point here, dialogue, we've had Kasonde Mwenda actually warn. President Kasonde Mwenda has warned the Oasis committee to say, if you agree to the dialogue, they did that to the miners at Munali Nickel Mine. They wanted to protest. State House. No, let's dialogue. They cancelled their protest. And when they went to the dialogue, they were chased away. Another episode where the president didn't hold his word is, I had a gentleman here who is the chairperson of the people living with disability in Zambia. I'll remember his name, but I interviewed that gentleman here who came to complain to say they were promised to say the disabled people would be included in the current UPND administration, and the gentleman actually from the living with people with disabilities, actually they used him to endorse. So the gentleman, I'll remember his name. The gentleman is a chair.
Is it Professor Ngwale?
Not in Ngwale. He's based, I think, in Ichoma.
It should be Ngwale. That should be the chairperson. Anyway.
Yeah. I'll remember his name. He's based in Ichoma or Monze. He came here, I interviewed him, he was complaining to say this UPND government, they used him because he, as the Disabled Association of Zambia, I don't know the right name for disabled people, they endorsed this New Dawn government on promise that they are going to be recognized and given positions in the government, but that did not happen. And when they went to protest at a state house, they called the police on them. They rounded them up and to put them in military casalangas, and they took them to, I think, a stadium, one of the stadium in Lusaka there, and then from there, and dispersed them. So up to now, this is another example of how by UPND government, they treat people whom they discourage from protesting. Now, these are small protests, but Oasis Foundation is big, guys. This is the mother of all organization, is the mother body, as they call it, of all organization in Zambia containing powerful mother bodies. Anything to do with the soul of the country, they are in that Oasis. Valo Association of Zambia, Catholic, whatever, evangelical, civil societies, won't say ka Oasis kanono. That's why they are shaken, because they know that this thing is big. Now we have to educate you on what really the Oasis Foundation is. I'm going to play a video here, so maybe you can understand the magnitude of this thing. You know, because we have been talking here to say this bill 7 need to fall flat, but no one has really paid attention until now, when people, at least now, suka. And the thing is, the people, I think, opened their eyes opened when this technical committee was constituted. The way it was constituted and its composition, people started raising eyebrows. And then when the technical committee only had 12 days to go around and collect data, but even that data submissions, they were asking questions, and it wasn't public. So now abantu baisuka, oh my God, what is happening here? So that's why we are here. We commend the Oasis Foundation. It's not too late because we are almost there. And the thing which really triggered this protest march is when the chairman of that Bill 7 Technical Committee said that they may not reveal what they are going to submit to the president. Okay, Mwebena Zambia. How can a technical committee who went around the country in a shotgun period of 12 days complete their work without submitting to the public when they are trying to change a public document, the constitution, we the people? Now, some of you are writing on my page, what is it trying to change in the constitution? I've been explaining here what is trying to be changed in the constitution. And if you don't know, go to my videos. There are videos on YouTube where I've explained. Even here on Facebook, I've made some literature, educational literature, to educate people on the main things that are going to be changed in the constitution. But the alarming thing that we are really uncomfortable is that the president wants to change his job description. You know, he wants to change his job description, and changing the rules of the game in the last minute is a no-no. Like, we are 6 months before the government is dissolved, and they want to change. They want to make laws that are going to actually flip this election in their favor. Now, there's also, if you saw the leaked document, which UPND, they paid a consultant to advise them on how to win this 2026 election. And that document states clearly that Tabaka win election without Bill 7. Now, Bill 7, this is where there is the limitation. We don't even know what will be delimited, which constituencies will be delimited. They're trying to add 100 new MPs. It's a mess, guys. Today, as I'm sitting here, we woke up to say Southern Province has registered 420,000 new voters. Can you imagine? Almost 500,000, you know. So Southern Province only, they have registered almost 500,000 new voters. But the problem is Southern Province, according to the population, it is the 4th largest populated state in the country. Number 1, I think, is Lusaka. I just ran a report here, yes. So Lusaka has the highest population, followed by Copperbelt, then Eastern. Southern comes in at number 4. But this time, Southern Province, if you look at the report which is just been issued there, it's all over social media, where Southern Province, who is number 4 in terms of population, has come out on top with the highest number of registered voters. So this is a problem, guys. Now, as we talk about this, another thing which has come up today is that the Honorable Emmanuel Mwamba, he wrote to the SADC about the threat of the threat on unfair election coming up. He wrote to SADC, and SADC have responded, and they are preparing to Zembe to come and explain the allegations of which Emmanuel Mwamba alluded to in that letter. So, we are in a problem. How can Southern Province, which is the 4th largest state, have the most number of registered voters? How is that possible? Now, this whole thing is also tied to the fact that there is a delimitation report, a delimitation which is supposed to happen in the Bill 7, but it's a secret, it's not transparent. Now, you remember when I think when UKA was united, all the presidents of UKA issued a joint statement, and they wanted to know the discrepancies between the numbers released by Zamstat for the census population and the numbers of eligible voters according to ECZ. So this is another thing where we need to open our eyes, Zambia, and make sure these numbers are tallied. We have to tally the numbers that have been reported kuya ku Zamstats and also ku ECZ. Now, I mentioned earlier that if we are not careful, we are going to find that we have more registered voters in some provinces compared to the eligible voters that are being recorded in Zamstats. Now, the other thing you have to know to say, the last census in Zambia was conducted in 2022. Under this same government, by Union government, they conducted that census. So there is a discrepancy there which has not been resolved. The numbers do not tally. The population in certain provinces is not tallying with the actual number of eligible voters in certain provinces. We have to get down to the bottom of this. Now, talking about this eligible voters and the population, it is very simple. It is very simple because, one, people who are eligible to vote, they have to be 18 years and above. Mwamona? So these people, they cannot manufacture a new population from out of the blue. All the registered voters who have registered to vote in this 2026 election, their names should be already in the census report. So we are asking for well-wishers to go and do a thorough critical analysis and tallying. Make sure that these people who have registered to vote, They were counted in the census of 2022. So, for example, somebody who was 15 years old in 2022, in 2026, after 5 years, they are eligible to vote. So they were counted in 2022. So it is very important we pay attention to these things. They cannot have voters from out of the blue. This census has got many stakeholders who are involved in conducting this census, and the numbers in this census are actually true and verified. They are legitimate. And the numbers at Zamstat in terms of population of provinces is what is the numbers we should use to validate the number of registered voters in each province. So this is really key thing to be done. Let us find a way of making sure that the people who were under 18 years old, they are known at Zamstat there. The numbers, the information, we have information at Zamstat there to actually tell us who was under 18 years old in 2022. So everyone who turned 18 from 2022 until 2026 is eligible. And those people should be the one who should be the new voters. Everything else, the beans. We are saying this because we saw even babies being registered to vote. So it is a big job. We need volunteers with a fine-tooth comb to go and validate, to say, if they say in Southern Province there are 420 new registered voters, these people, is their information in the Zamstat? Is it tallying? So that is the thing that we have to critically look at. Now, Fumoko na isa kulia shiyama 3 million, you know. We thank God Vamundubile came on a camera and rejected the toxic Bill 7. So now our appeal is to those who have taken my 1.5 million to take the money back. You are not going to sell Zambia over 3 million kwacha for your bellies. You are not going to turn Zambia into Tanzania formula or Rwanda formula or Uganda formula because of 3 million. Where are these people getting 3 million to pay corrupt MPs when they can pay farmers? They can't even pay farmers. Yesterday I saw Banamayo in a village where kana fertilizer muma megda. Is this the Zambia we want to live? How can you build the country when Banamayo where kana fertilizer muma megda? How can you build a country? Banamayo where kana fertilizer muma megda. That even simply means that they will not even grow enough food for the entire year which they are planning. They are planting for. But they can fertilize a mama meda that will just feed them maybe for 3-4 months. It is not enough food to sustain them for a whole year. Is this a type of government that we want Paka 2090? It is a shame what's happening. And you ministers of the cabinet ministers who came to give a press briefing, my comment to you is that yes, in a democracy we agree to disagree. It's fine. You can support Bill 7 because you are the one who cooked it. You ministers of UPND government, Bill 7 area. So you are in order to support the Bill 7. But what you are not in order is to stop us from rejecting it, because it is our constitutional right. It is our constitutional right to go and march peacefully. It is our constitutional right to have a freedom of conscience and to speak what we think. and to decline what we don't want. It's every human being's right to do that. You cannot force people to think like you. No. In fact, you ministers of UPND, your entire UPND government, for the past 4 years, you have been forcing Zambians to believe you and not to say something, not to say anything. You, UPND government, have forced the cyber bill on Zambians so that you want to be out to Nwabena Zambia. It's only a few of us here in diaspora who have kept platforms to talk against your bad governance. A few people in Zambia can barely talk. Even the media houses have been regulated. They are being censored. They are being told not to report any negative things against the government. Zambians have been like the most obedient citizens. Actually, I can even give Zambian a medal. Kutinama perama Zambians ichikombe for being very obedient to this oppressive regime. Because how many times have Zambians even tried to hold a permit? Baba kanina baya ikalafi. How many times have you, Imaba Jack Mwimbo, the police service that you command, has oppressed Zambians? And you have no shame, Jack Mwimbo, to try and stop a legal march, which is our constitutional right, when you, Baba Jack Mwimbo and UPND, you are the only people who are allowed to march in a democracy. But we say no. We stand here with the Oasis Foundation to go ahead with the march. It will be a peaceful march. No one is saying people will throw stones and cause damage or havoc. No. Why should a credible organization of lawyers, religious people go and cause commotion in the street? Why do you think that lawyers, credible people, or human rights activists and well-meaning Zambians will cause havoc? Why do you think that's going to be like that? Unless you are the one who are going to send criminals to cause havoc, and those criminals to be pretending to be part of the Oasis. And in that case, that's why the police should be there to make sure that everything is peaceful. If anything, we should see the peace there maintained by Zambia police. We don't want you, by Jack Mwimbu, to send officers to block a peaceful protest. In UPND, you've been marching for the last 4 years. Apari ponse, uwalanda kefota mtemenwe, bakada venu they organize a march and go and protest. Who stops them? Who stops the cadres for protesting against anything? Nangulunsha tapa va UPND kuyampuchita protest. They don't even get a permit. But these are credible people, you know, high-ranking people in the community, bishops, lawyers.
In fact, on that point that you've just touched, our constitution, in fact, does not say if you want to protest, go get a permit. You simply notify the police. But they've been using it. I've seen even, you know, these cadres say the same thing. Oh, who did he get a permit? You, under the constitution, we are not supposed to get a permit. I'm just supposed to notify the police that on this day I'll be doing this. That is the constitution of Zambia.
But do they, the question is, do they get a permit themselves? No. And this is the hypocrisy of it over UPN. This is your hypocrisy. The hypocrisy of this government is doing the same thing they are denying their friends. This is the thing that I think Nombama Zambians have had it up to here. That is the whole hypocrisy of you, Bajak Mwimbi. This is not an insult. Hypocrisy means it means that is hypocrisy. So, by Oasis Foundation, TNIO, by Oasis Foundation, TNIO. It is our right. This country is already polarized. You have been refusing to sit down with us to discuss our issues. Kasonde Mwenda alide kulya ku Zesco police. What happened to Kasonde Mwenda? Tabamu imisheba yeye bakada. And I would like to congratulate all these people, Oasis and all the Zambians, to stand together as one. We are stronger together. United we stand, divided we fall. Vena Zambia, united we stand. Let's stand united. Unity is key. It doesn't matter if ngamwaingire ndoshi mumushi. Wonsi abantu tabalala paka bayisange ndoshi. Kuikatana. Nangu mwalipata nange ndoshi ngaingira mumushi. You have to go and find that witch and expose it. So apefchitike Mozambia, we must all unite, and I am happy that Kuriakuri PF there is some sort of calm. They postponed the convention. But PF na mwetule miromba. But PF, put your egos aside. But PF twami papata mwalalu fie chalo, because you are the largest opposition parties. The rangos ngayambo kulafuma ku PF ichalo chala luba. Mamona, what kind of election will it be where there is no PF or MMD on the ballot? Eh? You need to unite by PF, put your hands together and see how you will resolve this issue. It is lying on your back. It will not be an election here kwebati by MMD tapadi, by PF tapadi. Padi fiama babies. By under 5 people who have not held government before are the one to be on the ballot? No. It will be wrong, and it will be, we will be shooting us in the foot, ourselves in the foot. You know? So we are begging about PF, resolve your problems. We need to have PF on the ballot. You know? MMD has been systematically killed. Why? Because MMD is familiar with the most Zambians. It formed government. So they had to kill off MMD systematically, so that there is no option. I want to actually fire UPND. They could have voted for MMD. But now they are going for PF, so that the thing that they want is they only want one familiar name on the ballot, which is UPND. When they eliminate PF and MMD, there will only be one familiar name. And if there is voter apathy, if all the other MMD tabele, right now I can tell you everybody who was in MMD is frustrated. And this is just my opinion. I think that everyone who was MMD, they will not go and vote because they are not happy about what Van Evers has done. So we're already going to have voter apathy from by MMD. And now by PF na benanga yaf mapa ballot. If PF is off the ballot, there will be more voter apathy from PF. Where are PF members going to go? Mamona. So this is two major voters eliminated. Some of them they baka furua baka kwate chifushta baka yeko bambi baka furungana baka vote the favor UPND because they can't find MMD or PF on the ballot. They will just vote for the next big thing. It is systematically rigging an election. So elobena nombana mumona numbers kuma stronghold. Even Western Province registered more voters. Eh? Western Province is a very small province. Western Province is the 8th largest province in the country. But Western Province has more registered voters than some of these provinces who have a big population. So they are going to get votes from Western Province and the Southern Province and Northwestern. And then the thing is umuma opposition omo double register. So muma opposition strongholds ba double register. Ama numbers yakalaisa double triple mwane umfachi NRC mopale ba machina 10. I rest my case. Ba Mama Elia, you can go ahead. Kulia can't. Maybe while he's busy, but Joseph, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so well spoken, Madam President. I think this government should come to a place where they no longer begin to look at Zambians as docile people who just accept and agree with everything that they've been doing. We've been governed before. We've tested the best of the best before. UPND is not the first government to run Zambia. We've been there before. We've had, successful governments that have governed us. And we know what we don't want and we know what we want. So I think for me, the Oasis Forum is spot on. And this is the way to go. You know, there's always an opportunity in life. And the first opportunity to any disagreement is engagement. Now, when you've been engaged several times and you are not responding, the engagement is not yielding results, you leave people with no option but to want.
Don't add this guy. He's coming on and disturbing us. Don't add him. I'm adding him, guys. Like if you're joining a panel, you come quietly and join the discussion. You don't come pa panel nechong. That is disrespecting the panel.
On the voter registration, it's very clear because we know what happened in Southern Province. We know what happens in their strongholds and the things that they do. Okay, they do not allow the participation, especially on the monitoring part, in those strongholds. UPND have been behaving like criminals during elections in all these places where we've held elections, be it by elections and all that. So, indeed, this is a well-calculated move. They know what they're trying to do. But again, there is a catch about it. They shouldn't actually celebrate. You know, running a country, I'll tell you why UPND has struggled to govern a country. To govern a country, these were given an opportunity. HH was given an opportunity to bring unity in the country when you look at the number of votes that he got from every part of Zambia, And unfortunately, he picked a wrong way in siding, with the region. And he wants to do the same. Now, the danger of not having consensus from all parts of Zambia is this. It will be very difficult. To run a country, you need people to agree, your subjects to agree to you that you are governing them. One, they will have to respect you. They need to support you. Now, if you win an election, for example, from 3 provinces, it technically tells you that you do not have a legitimate mandate to govern the other parts. All right, I'll give you a very good example that happened was it in 2006 elections. Manawasa, if you paid attention, Manawasa won an election mostly from the rural areas. He found it very difficult in Lusaka. There were moments where Manawasa was about to pass Lumumba Road. But because the people in Lusaka had turned, they did not agree with him. Those women that were selling in the streets would actually lift cabbages. Until the president was told, you cannot use this route anymore. And that is what it is. So you need, they are making a very big mistake in what they are doing, because even dictatorship, there is a moment that it fails when people do not agree with you. Otherwise, you end up committing a lot of atrocities. You have to force your governance on people. As a result, you begin to see extrajudicial killing because people don't agree with you. Instead of progressing as a country, we fail to progress. Why? Because you do not have the support coming from other regions. And this is the danger. This is it. Should pay particular attention to this. Let them not run an election based on what they are trying to do as things stand. Let them not celebrate because they have bigger numbers, coming from Southern Province. What should actually make them happy is to win the hearts of other people from other regions. By so doing, they will have actually gotten the legitimacy that it requires to run a government. So on all these things that have happened in the country, I think we have so much to do, especially this government. The best they should have done is to step back, not threatening people, not stopping people from protesting, let people exercise their freedom of expression, association, protest. It is enshrined in our constitution. They are not breaking the law. For as long as it is being done within the confines of the law, they should be allowed to do that. And the Oasis Forum, like you noted, Madam President, is not a small thing. It is a mother body of all these non-governmental organizations. And it speaks on behalf of the citizenry. And they should go ahead and let them do this without any interference. Perhaps, just perhaps, this government will listen. But already, I've seen what is happening, and this is what UPND has been doing in my conclusion, Madam President. We say, the church mother bodies will come and say, we do not agree. They are going to create their own church, and they will name it through ZNBC. Oh, the church has said this, trying to discredit, the non-organization, church mother bodies, counter react to these other church mother bodies. That has been the biggest problem with UPND. They do not want to honor, they do not want to take responsibility, they do not want to respect what we've always respected as a country. Chiluba started it. The church mother bodies rose against the Fed term, and it died. And this one, Bill 7, is dead. No matter how much they try to resurrect it, it will not work. Zambians have categorically said no. And let me warn the the members of parliament. Those of you that have gotten money for your personal gain, remember, Zambia did not start with you, and Zambia does not end with you. Look at your conscience. Look at those mothers. Look at those farmers that have not gotten paid. Look at people that are going hungry in homes. And this is what you want to subject, and this is what you want to benefit from. It is immoral, it is not right. Do the right thing for once. If you've eaten the money, eat, but don't vote for that bill. Should it have its, access to parliament? But our prayer is that this thing should not get anywhere near the floors of parliament. Then lastly, PF, please, PF, we appeal to you. We have been held hostage in our country. And you can see the kind of support that you are receiving from the ordinary Zambians. Zambians, we are suffering, we are struggling. You've presented yourself as a beacon of hope. At least we get to breathe when we see something taking place. But that can only be a reality when you show leadership. Leadership in that begin to deal with the challenges that you have. And please stop rushing to the media to deal with your internal issues. Leadership requires that you resolve problems. Just like in a home, when a wife and a husband have issues, they don't need to go to the living room where the children are and they begin to talk about how their mother is what, how their father is what. No, it is in their bedroom. Get to your boardroom. Resolve your issues without people getting to know what is going on. By so doing, because the moment you come in the open, you are giving UPND, in this case your enemy, a reason to continue making it difficult and infiltrate you. But when you resolve your problems within your house, there will be no way that the enemy will come and infiltrate you and take advantage of the situation. Please, PF, put your house in order. You are carrying the hopes of so many people currently, and give us a clear roadmap very soon that tells us as to when and how this is going to happen, there is no need for you, even this time, in the time of technology, to go and gather in one place. This convention can be done online.
Yes.
Via Zoom, and it will be done. You don't have to go. You don't even need that court order that we are talking about. Thank you.
Mwalande Chishinka, welcome Angel G. That is the point. I think PAF should start considering a virtual convention for the sake of peace. Because watermelon formula, mwamona, they infiltrate PF and cause confusion. Or they'll just come. We saw last week what happened to Kulibaruwinda. A UPND card that was just boldly saying we have a right to do citizens arrest, you know. This is the same mentality they are bringing to this foundation, this Oasis march, where they are saying Nefwebe Tukaya. Abena Liswaniso Mosquito have their comment. Matomola said, yes, you also have a right to make a march to support Bill 7, but don't come on the day when the Oasis Foundation is doing their march. Don't come to our march. Unless if you're a patriotic Zambian, you support the democracy that we are all trying to fight for. If you are supporting the rejection of this Bill 7, then come and join your Oasis Foundation. If you are supporting the Bill 7, then make your own march. Don't come to us and cause confusion. And already your leaders are saying this march is going to polarize the nation. So are you trying to send infiltrators into this march to cause confusion? Is this what they are trying to do? Because the country is already polarized. And briefly, I was doing a calculation while you were talking by Josephs to do the numbers. The population between Southern Province, Western Zambezi region in short, the total population of these three Zambezi regions of UPND stronghold, the total population is less than 5 million people, which is less than 22% of the population. Out of 21 million Zambians, we have less than 5 million people in these Zambezi regions. So how can 5 million people put a president in office? They cannot. So that's why Bahaka Inde, if he really knew the numbers as they are, he should have done better in embracing all the Zambians. Because for President Hakainde to form government, he got numbers from all the provinces. Mamona, that's why his message was preaching unity. He said things which are not true to get the vote. Now those people whom Hakainde told all these things, they are not going to vote for him. The only province, I think, which is solidly going to vote for Hakainde is the one province, Southern Korea. Northwestern nakwenda kuli divided. He's losing votes in Northwestern. He's also losing votes in Western. And even if all these three provinces, they vote for Hakainde, the population of these three provinces is less than 22%. So whichever way you look at it, Hakainde is not going to win this election because the Zambezi region is polarized against the rest of the country. You know, that is a fact. Zambezi region is polarized against the rest of the country, and the rest of the country holds 78% vote. You know? So how are you going to pull it off, Bamwangala? This is why we are saying here that if you look at these things critically, by UPND, they can't win the 2026 election because of how they have governed their country. In a free and fair election, they cannot win it. They can't. And they hired consultants who produced that document that leaked, who basically told them Hakainde to bounce back in power is based on Bill 7. So nomba mwebena Zambia tukekarashani mu Zambia ngatuwa workshop over UPND na futhi for paka 2019 tukekarashani. My Angel G, the floor is yours.
Madam President, while you are at it, I'm just reading something. I just hope this is not true. Because if this is true, then I don't know where we are going as a country. If these people give in by accepting this, I'm a sad person. I've just read that just in the Oasis Forum has agreed to meet President Church at State House on Wednesday, 26th of November. If this is true,
It depends on the page.
Flying Eagles.
Is that a credible source?
Huh?
Is Flying Eagles a credible source?
That's why I'm saying that what I've read, if it's true, then I've said if it's true.
Okay. No, I think they can agree to meet.
Go and meet somebody when people have said we are going on with the protest. No.
They can meet after the protest. That is my word.
Madam, they're saying 26th, which is the protest is on a Friday. Why would you want to meet whatever? No. They should not agree to this. And while we were on this, there's an issue which came up a few minutes ago of how they want to overshadow the protests on Friday by UPND and their group. Like you said, Mosquito has said they are going to come as well. You've seen the 8 NGOs which are affiliated to UPND who sat under a press briefing where they're saying they're also going to take part. You know how they intend to take part? They want to take part by coming in large numbers and come and overshadow that event so that their placards are the ones which will be shown to the world to say we support Bill 7. You see how that bad is? How can we live in a country where they have their own right to protest, to support Bill 7 on their right day, on their own day? But why should you come on the day when your friends who are saying no to Bill 7 want to come and protest? That's when you want to come so that you overshadow what your friends want to do. And the women said that ZNBC should make sure they capture a large of them with placards to say we support Bill 7, such that now the HH will say, you see, people have said we support you, Bill 7. They came to protest. Are you seeing the mingratos they're doing?
No, it's okay because Basadik, they're already coming to investigate. Everybody knows this.
Madam, tell me that it's okay because they are saying people will come with placards saying we support Bill 7.
It's okay, Navena, it's their right. Let themselves come with placards. Now, if we come with placards, at the end of it all, it's up to the members of parliament to vote. This is just a protest.
But why would you want to come on the day when I want to have my own event?
That's how they operate, Kabili. Mwalibe shiwe fe babomba. Efe babomba to ali shiwe fe babomba.
Come up with their own day of doing things. Let's not encourage them. No.
Yeah, we know we are going to reject it, but you know what? UPND is UPND. But it's up to the police not to give a permit on the same day to UPND. So if the police give a permit to UPND, then that is the problem.
Not to say, no, let's allow them also. No. They want to protest, let them protest, and let them go and also notify the police to say, we are going to do this on a different day, not on a day when you...
That's why you notify police, so that the police are checking, is there anybody who's having something so there are no clashes?
Yeah, because these ones are already confirmed. They did that. Why would you want to now come and say, no, I also do it on the 28th? No. That should not be done. It's because of... I'm just from Blaze's platform where somebody explained very well their mingalatos of how they are intending to do this. And this what I also collected, because after the guy presented, I had already collected this information I amplified. He said, this is exactly what I'm saying. So they have created these 3 crises in the country: emergency, state of emergency, constitution manipulation, and judiciary something, three things. And how they are manipulating those three things is to ensure that people are subjected to whatever either constitution, whatever constitution manipulation to make this whole thing work and don't work, that kind of a thing. And we have, so in short, all these are mingalatos they are trying to do. The question is, why do you want to do mingalato on the people who said no?
They want to declare a state of emergency because Chirufetali is just already saying battlefield. Why are you saying battlefield? Imwaba UPND muya mkuchita protest. Nina nuisha mku michilinganya ba UPND. Pupped mouth, your mouth for hire is saying mulefo kuleta battlefield. How can we bring a battlefield when you are UPND, you have been demonstrating without people stopping you?
There's a video of the youths who were demonstrating against Bill 10. Was that a battlefield?
Yeah.
Secretary should not use his stomach to think. He's delusion, that one. He's delusion. That's what I can
People are paid to push a wrong narrative, And this is the thing which
that kind of thing.
So we are not going to allow.
Those ministers who are sitting there saying this and that, were they not the ones who are dancing in the garden when the Bill 10 flopped? But today they want to. How was the country divided that time?
They are hypocrites. We need to find that video. When Bill 10 flopped and combine it. Would you call
that as the disunity in the country?
When those ministers were dancing Kuriapadi Bill 10 when it flopped, support echintu chimochini. Echo bakeni. Ba Jack Mwimbu haimbe.
Was there any disunity there? Was the country divided when they were dancing?
The country is already divided. Let them not say because people want to protest, the country is divided because of the protest. The country has already been divided. Everybody is saying we need to heal in Zambia. If the country is divided, why is Lungu not buried? In a united country, why should it take us 6 months now? We have failed to bury Balungu. And then you can come here on the camera and talk about you are polarizing the nation. Your government is polarizing the nation. You have failed to bury Edgar Chagwalungu. We are going on 6 months. How dare you come and tell us a simple march is going to polarize the nation? When you have failed to put the man to lie in his grave. You have failed to put to let the man rest in peace. You have put the whole family at a ransom.
When you hear to say people are going to protest, you have those 8 NGOs saying no, if these people want to protest, it's because they feel they are not.
No, and I think actually, by Angel, I think Oasis should also organize another protest for this government to back off the ECO funeral and let the family bury their own. We need to organize a protest.
You have 8 organizations saying no, we're also going to back the support of Bill 7.
Let them back it, but they should not back it on 28th November. Let them pick another day.
Where were they all this while? Before these people said we are going to protest, where were they all this while? It's desperation of the UPND government. Where were those who said they are going to support Bill 7? Where were they all this while?
My dear, if you start questioning them,
they want to come.
Zambia, we are a democracy. We agree to disagree. I never let folks support Bill 7. Go ahead. But don't come and support Bill 7 on 28th November when we have our own thing. We are not going to be like them to stop them from protesting. No. Let them protest.
I'm not stopping them to protest. I'm saying let them have integrity, character, and morality in the whole process. You can't come and say, because I'm having my wedding here, because you are my ex.
You know these people how they operate, my dear. But what about integrity?
That's nonsense. Huh? That's nonsense.
They don't have integrity. Look at Jack Mwembo.
That kind of mediocrity and hypocrisy. We are not going to.
But these are the people. This is their caliber. Jack Mwimbu was dancing when Bill 7 dropped. Today, he's there supporting the same bill. So, we know how they operate. So, in Nepal one day, I'm not going to even have a headache to question these people because the only people I can talk to is Zambia police. But Jack Mwimbu, when you are not only a UPND, but you are the Minister of Home Affairs. So ensure that your people by UPND, they have a separate day to support the Bill 7. Do not create confusion in the country and give a permit to the UPND to demonstrate on the same day Oasis is demonstrating. Now, if Jack Mwimbu goes ahead and issues a permit, allows them to say no, now you can demonstrate on 28th November, when they have already approved another match on the same day, this thing will be on by Jack Mwimbu. But Jack Mwimbu, this will be your baby, and I'm going to cut this and circulate it. But Jack Mwimbu, you will be responsible. Nga kukaba omuntu kafuaba Jack Mwimbu pa 28 November chikaba pa mutwe wenu panu momwe bafisuminisha. Yes, we need to tell these people and call them out to say, but Jack Mwimbu, make sure by UPND bakachite protest on a separate day, not on the same day. Because if you allow by PF, by UPND to protest on the same day, it will be on umutwe waba Jack Mwimbu. I end there. Daughter of Zion, have any comments? By Joseph's, any comment? So, Eliashi, you may want to talk about this.
Yeah. So, on the part of, I know that is expected because these are people that have no moral, credibility, and they can do anything. So, indeed, that issue of them trying to frustrate, the protest, it is highly expected. If they don't use the police, they can still use cadres. But again, this whole thing is working against them. It's going to work against them either way. It's more beneficial for them to allow the process to go on, the procession of protest to go on, as opposed to stopping it. Those that want to protest, those that support Bill 7, I think they've had their opportunity. They have been saying this. We see it on social media. We see it everywhere. They have the right to protest and support Bill 7. But let them also be tolerant to others that say, we do not want. We do not want. This dialogue that is being called, this is one thing that people are not paying attention to. The Bill 7 was only withdrawn because at a point the court had ordered. Otherwise, we heard the president clearly state, other people have changed the constitution just before elections. Why is it that it is so difficult for you people to allow me? Is it because I am Hakainde Ichirema? That's what he said when he met the church mother bodies when they went to State House. Now where we have reached, the question we need to ask ourselves is, why now that the president is calling for dialogue? Okay, why now? Is it just one way to diffuse the protest? Or what? Because he has had all these opportunities, they have written to him, at different forums, different times, people have spoken to say, please, listen to us. We do not support this. This lacks consensus of our people. But has this government done? It has gone ahead. That committee, I call it an illegal committee, concluded the sittings and what they would call their submissions from different people as they claim. When you look at, what a constitution is, the time frame, this constitution amendment is predetermined. The outcome is predetermined, and that's what makes it difficult. So the dialogue that should be there it's not about negotiating. Like I see when you read in different platforms, you hear, especially those pages that support UPND, they are saying, why can't the Catholic Church support? Why do you hate Chichlema so much? You can also make your own submission. No, you do not make submission on something that is wrong. It makes your submission wrong as well. Where you cannot put something on a wrong platform and expect it to be good. No. The whole process, the originator of this constitutional amendment is the executive, which is against the norms of our constitutional amendment. It should be a people-driven. It's people that should decide. Meaning, we should have independent people aware, devoid of government. They are the people that should push the agenda, not as things stand. What the government has done now, because the court had ruled and said they should be more consensus, what did they do? They carried the same document, and all those places they went to was basically just to rubber stamp what they already determined. And this is what the Oasis Forum is against. If they go to dialogue, that thing will be going very soon. They want that thing before Parliament closes to go into Parliament. So there will be dialoguing this side whilst they're moving at a supersonic speed to have that thing, Bill 7, enacted. And this is what we are all against. So in this case, if protest is the language that the government listens to, let it be so, because dialogue has been tried. We've said clearly, everyone has clearly stated traditionally, those that we know have always been involved in the constitutional making process, they have clearly said, no, we do not want. That thing would have been withdrawn, the court ruled, that thing would have been withdrawn a long time ago. Now, iyamenshi yafika mu nkoshi yatawe sentula nshanye. Iyakushinga bata abantu. It's not right. What the president should have done was not to call for dialogue. To stop this process, he would have just said, I abandon, we are trashing Bill 7. That is the only medicine to this challenge. Pulling it out, stopping the whole process. Let us go to the election without this thing, because it is the only antidote that they have to win an election in 2026. Without Bill 7, so this thing is not serving the purpose of the citizenry of Zambia. It is literally serving the purpose of UPND to win an election next year. After that, then we will have a full-fledged dictatorship. So that we shouldn't allow as a country. I think we can do better. This government can also do itself a very big favor. They won an election under the old constitution. Power was transferred nicely without challenges under the old constitution. What is wrong now? We agree that our constitution has issues, but it cannot take 12 days to work on that constitution. The new government that will come in 2026 can actually begin the process. If UPND was serious about it, they wouldn't have waited up to this far. When they see that they do not have the legitimate and the support of the Zambian people to win an election, then they say, let's fix this. They thought an election, the only person that was standing against them was Edgar Lungu in an election. They backed him, and he's dead. Then they realized, no, it's not about Edgar Lungu, it's the Zambian people that are ahead. What do we do? Let's go to the constitution. That should not work, and God will not permit this. We should go to an election with the old constitution. Let people decide their leader. Do not give enfranchise them systematically using the constitution. Already ECZ has manipulated so much in this voter registration, issuance of registration cards. It is a problem already. Let us have a country that has always been democratic, unlike what it is. Everything is just anarchy. The opposition is being tampered with. How could you want to grab the largest opposition political party in the country? It's wrong, it's morally wrong. Though they keep denying it, everyone, even a baby, can see the hand of somebody really trying to do Mingalato in patriotic front, which is very, very wrong for a country to move forward. Thank you, ma'am.
Otherwise, on the whole, today is a good day. You know, let's look at the good things that have come out because of this pressure from Oasis Foundation. You know, they have caved in. The president has invited for dialogue. The ministers are scampering, saying you are polarizing the nation. Mwewa ta polarize nation ni mwebo. Ba Jack Mwimbu na wekala lilo bachi ba humbled. Ba Jack Mwimbu bala ponta, like these people, they ponta to Zambians, but they have forgotten who gave them that power. But today, seeing all those ministers, what na balokwa, na chiwa na te, hey, if ya baba mayo balelanda tibai gonkola nondo. If ya balelanda ba mayo. You know, this Oasis thing is a wake-up call. It is a wake-up call. Bai gonkola nondo ba po ba chikala palaba Jack Mwimbu na balokwa. Bai gonkola nondo ba Oasis bai gonkola nondo ya mu UPNG ba chiba tushupe bai tushupa 4 years. But today they sat there shameful. When you see that video, Kovachira Pera press conference, I've never seen by Jack Mwimbu so humble. I've never seen by Jack Mwimbu kukuikala so humble. The mom, tunabeba tatumiewa. Ine nombada ramba fiokula mishinina. Enchito ya ndipano kula mishinina because fionse fide chitika. Tulabeba pano pa page. We have been telling them. We have been telling these people. Tualebeba judge ali butuka kukabweko. Any news from that Kabwe judge? We don't know. Judge abutuka. Muone fintu evo fideyenda nomba. God is taking control. Mama tualira wena Zambia tulirira fye 4 years tulira fye nganine pano. I am the chief mourner about this operation in Zambia. I am the chief mourner. We've been crying here to say by UPN Dinisho, by UPN Dinisho. Inganiwa praising on what to chitafe rubbish muma comment. Okay, if we are rubbish, why are you cowing down today to beg for dialogue? If we are nothing, if Zambians are nothing, why did Wajaki Wachitanta Mapadanama ministers won't say Navarokwa? Today is a big day. Right now, Sadik is planning on the way to come and investigate these things. They are coming, Sadik so bari Muzambia. They will come and get information first hand if they come Muzambia. Today is a good day. And all these numbers they are manipulating is in nothing. Because the Zambezi region population is less than 5 million. Of 21 million people, the Zambezi population is only 4.8 something, less than 5 million. Which is 22% of the Zambian population. So, number, how can a 22% put a president in office who requires 50+1 vote? Fiakana. It can't. And their hope was in this bill 7. Neko bashinti ya matako. Mumbu pakulira wale monafiati. Bill 7 yana pita. That's why the stakes are high. That's why they paid 3 million to MPs when our farmers have not been paid, because they're trying to secure the 2026 election. Because if you 7 in an election 2028 next year there won't be an election by Josephs. Mark my words. Bill 7 in repeated Bill 7 in a sign of here. Bill 7 election takwakabe next year.
Madam President, people, you know, when if you've studied the behavior of UPND, you discover one thing is they'll just this Bill 7 will just give them an opportunity
to prolong their stay.
That constitution to do worse, because especially that issue of 50+1, Bill 7. Because HH knows he doesn't have that support from the country.
50+1.
He can't win 50+1. So why? What do they do? This is the more reason they are pushing for that, for Bill 7, because they want to take away 50+1. Because 50+1 will not allow him. Even if, you know, Zambezi, the whole Zambezi region just votes for him, he cannot make
He's
presidency.
still under 30%.
He can't.
Yeah, Nangwabeza Mbezi bonse Nangwabike yoyama 420,000 votes in the southern region. It cannot make it Bahaka Inde to come to 50+1. Na ve shiva na veni. Na ve shiva ati 50+1 yena kuta litabaka fikeko. Thank you for the rose, but blessed Natotera. So we have to tell them because we know the game you are playing. We know the game you are playing. The leaked report already shows that you are willing to delimit, add more seats in your strongholds. But the main thing which you after Bill 7 is to increase the term, presidential term. Presidential term yena ikalundwa eona my elections takwakabe nomba bena Zambia bakekala shani when they are being load shaded 22 hours ine palonde for kuisa ku Zambia, come to Zambia nkesa ku Zambia nkekala shani takwaba malaiti. People have 2 hours of electricity pakati pabush kwa malaiti elo yes. Ine my job iwomba malaiti. I'm a content creator. I need to have 24/7 power. I'm a shtakwawa. I'm a lighting gatakuri. People can't pump water. This is the country. Oh, mrepunda 2090. You're praising Oshakwata, man. Brain ula we know achila isapale pangechongo ni mwana ba after twaka no kumulemba kumuleta pamulwa pambo kulembe fyabu tuba mu comments. Unity is key. About Oasis Foundation Wandini, good job. The next protest if we look back March is for this AG and Bahaka Inde to drop that case here Lungu, so that Lungu can be buried. Instead of putting it on Makebi at Malukula. Are you guys serious? You are the reason why Balungu Tawaba Shika, Elo Mumba Madi Pidibulo Mlandu Kubika Padi Makebi at a reason Balungu Tawaba Shika. It's ridiculous.
It's actually ignorance. They actually know deliberately, they understand why. Everybody in Zambia knows why. But you know, we have a country that is literally running on propaganda.
They are told what to say, you know. The problem is by UP and the praise singers, whatever they are told to say is what they preach. So badi beba timulela that's Makebi a reason tatwashi kabalungu. That's why they come here preaching, oh Makebi, welela mokashi kebalungu. Yeah? But praise singer mwapangwa shani kanshi.
Makebi Zulu has nothing. You know, I loved it when he responded to one of the caller by a question to say, who is a spokesperson. You know, I don't make a decision. I simply
Yes.
communicate what I'm told to communicate. I
Yes.
have no right, you know, to decide.
Ukweba family yabalungu ati tuchite.
But this narrative that they've been pushing, you know, to paint, to paint Makibi Zulu black, it doesn't put water. Everyone knows what the problem is. The problem is the person that took the widow to court on the day of burial. That is a person that we should be bashing, all of us.
Ero basambira na Makebi nomba basambire Makebi umulandu.
Wakaele, they just worried and scared of him. Makebi Wakaele, he has not done any wrong. You know, but just like I said, the biggest challenge we have is that Zambia is literally running on propaganda. There is no truth, there is no integrity, there is no honesty. And as a result, you find what people cook up is what is sold. And people run with it as gospel truth. They don't want people that have integrity. They do not want people that are honesty. The truth is alleged to this government. That is the biggest challenge that is there. They do not want to stand in the truth. They want to run on propaganda. People are saying there is no electricity. Then the minister says no, there is 15 hours electricity. People are saying we do not, fertilizer is expensive. The VIP goes in parliament and says no, it is 750. Okay, show us so that we go and buy. And what kind of thinking is that? All right, so it's become a norm to lie. It's okay to lie, which is actually a very big, problem. You expect the opposition to be the one selling propaganda and not the government. The government should run on truth so that people make informed decision. If you tell them fertilizer is 750, but I'm gay, who outrate was 750. They ask